Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Giant Take podcast. I'm Josh, coming to you if you're watching from what basically looks like a closet at the student radio station here at Syracuse University. And Alex is joining me, recording this episode in the morning after a wild, not really compared to the Cowboys game last week, Sunday Night Football defeat for the New York Giants against the Kansas City Chiefs. Alex, I'm coming to talk to you, to talk to everyone from the radio station after, unfortunately, I just had to discuss this team. So I'm doing this again for the second time today. And so I've already talked for a while on there. So I want to let you start by seeing how you're doing this morning, which I think I know the answer, and getting into your thoughts of whatever this football game was.
Yeah, not doing great. All I'll say is the only good thing is that we played Sunday night, so I could just go right to bed after it happened. So that was good. I will start with the one positive thing that I saw, Josh, and then the rest was completely negative. So Andrew Thomas was back for the first half. He looked amazing. And then he left for the second half, and we looked terrible. But yeah, overall, just a very, very disheartening performance against the Chiefs team that was not playing well. And the missed opportunities, the coaching incompetence of Brian Dable, the malpractice in creating this roster, and none of it was summed up better than the Three Stooges being shown on TV right at the end. It was just not a good night for the Giants, and the Giants season is over in September 21st.
On September 21st, the Giants season is indeed over, which we knew. And I kind of want to get to that a little bit. But first, I want to say that my friend kind of summed it up perfectly that I did the show with this morning. Shout out, Jack. He said, the Giants lost this game. The Chiefs didn't win this game. And I think that's a kind of a great way to sum it up. Like the Chiefs didn't play well. Patrick Mahomes wasn't on his A game, and that's kind of credit to this D line for the pressure that they had in this one. And I was so impressed by that. I was so impressed by how they limited the Chiefs to just 9 points in the first half. This Chiefs explosive offense with, Pro Bowl tight end Travis Kelce, which I know he hasn't performed this year, but even so, and it's still Patrick Mahomes and Pacheco and Hunt going back and forth, and Thorin and Juju and Hollywood Brown. They have weapons. They are there. Now they haven't been able to put it together so far this season, but they do exist. It's not like this team has no weapons and they're kind of just throwing it all out there. It's still the best quarterback in the game. It's still one of the best tight ends in the game. It's still a running back and receiving threats that are present. And the Giants held them to 9 points in the first half. They did their job. What didn't do their job and who didn't do their job was once again this Giants offense. And Alex, it's like we say it time and time and time again, the defense can't hold them forever. You can't win a game if you only score less than 10 points. When did we see it? In week 1. When did we also see it? Probably 2022, 2023, 2020, 2019, 28. Every freaking year, right? So, once again, it holds true. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. But in this year's NFL, if you score less than 10 points, odds are really not in your favor to win the football game. And that happened again last night. Sorry, I'm going to throw it back to you because I guess I'm getting choked up from this.
No, I mean it's ridiculous. The Giants have won one game in their past 15 games, Josh. I just saw that on Twitter from Talking Giants. That is insane. The Giants cannot win at home, they can't win away, they can't win on the practice field. They lose in everything they do. They probably lose playing video games at home. Like they just cannot find a way to win, and it's so disheartening when you start the game and all of a sudden Graham Gano for the 900th time suddenly is injured before the game, and now I have to watch the amount of times I've watched Jamie Gillen kick extra points is beyond anything imaginable. The fact that I've had to watch him kick extra points, them not go high enough, hit a guy in a helmet, and then hit someone's hand. It's just, you have this fantastic drive where you go down for a touchdown, and then that just deflates everything. And that's all coaching right there. And it's just very, very frustrating to watch. And yes, you're right, Josh. The Chiefs are a great team, right? They have Patrick Mahomes, they have Travis Kelce, two of the best players in the NFL, but they were not playing very well. And the Giants could have won this game if it wasn't for a lack. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say that, because I was going to say if it wasn't for a lack of offensive production and coaching mistakes, but that is two-thirds of what the game is all about. So maybe I'm wrong there, but it's just mind-boggling, some of the mistakes that the Giants make, some of the decisions that Russell Wilson was making. He thought he was Iron Man after that Cowboys game, Josh, that he could just throw it up and Malik Neighbors would catch it.
Yeah.
And on
Well,
that same
yeah.
note, sorry, they
No, go
couldn't
for
even
it.
scheme Malik Neighbors open till the fourth quarter. Mike Kafka and Brian Dable, these offensive geniuses, Josh, they know they created Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. They couldn't scheme open Malik Neighbors till the fourth quarter. They couldn't get the ball in our best players' hands till the fourth quarter. What kind of winning football is that? I don't care if they were doing the Bill Belichick and double teaming him. Get the ball in Malik Neighbors' hands. He is the best player on offense. And even when they weren't passing to Malik Neighbors, where was Wandale Robinson involved in the game plan besides that last minute catch where he got slammed to the ground? He is also one of our most dynamic offensive playmakers. Why is it that we were leaning on Darius Slayton, who hadn't even caught a pass for the first 2 weeks? And I see Gunner out there running routes for 20-25% of the time. It's just
Oh,
ridiculous.
Collins is out there.
Yeah,
It makes no sense to me. Jalen Hyatt, by the way, has still not really played a snap, I don't think, at all this season.
yeah,
And
but we
then
couldn't trade him.
When Malik Neighbors got injured in this game, Alex, and they had that scare when he got injured, it was on that end zone pass, right? Um,
Yeah.
who comes in? Bo Collins, not Jalen Hyatt. Why draft Jalen Hyatt then? Why draft the speedster out of Tennessee to just stand on the sideline all game, and yet we have an undrafted rookie playing instead of him? Give the guy a freaking chance, for God's sake. What are you doing? You're wasting his talent, you're wasting his potential by just not even playing him. What are you accomplishing by doing that? Um and yeah, I mean, the play calling, Alex, is like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball, and then we're not going to run it. We're just going to pass it to a running back. That was the entire first quarter and honestly, first half of the play calling. We're going to throw as many screens as we want at you and as many Cam Scatterby throws in the backfield as humanly possible. And when we're not doing that, we're going to run him with Scatterby, which is, listen, more Scatterby touches, great for me. I love Cam Scatterby. You know that. However, when that's your entire offensive scheme, even though this team they might not have the best, besides Malik Neighbors, they may not be the best, but they do still have wide receivers that are on this roster that are on the field at the same time as Cam Scatterby is. So why aren't they getting targeted the ball? I mean, it took 5 plays where they threw to a running back before Darius Slayton caught a slant in the first quarter. I mean, what are you doing? Why not use our tight ends? Why not use our wide receivers and pass it to them? And then when you do, you throw it, Russell Wilson, I'm saying, into triple coverage downfield. You throw it after Neighbors breaks on the route, after he's already in the end zone, you release that ball, which puts him in a position to where, because he beat the defensive back, in this case now when the ball and they have to turn around in the end zone, the defensive back is obviously ahead of Malik Neighbors to catch his 50-50 jump ball. So yeah, Neighbors can't make an incredible catch that we're so used to making because he's in such a tough position because Russell Wilson, you waited to throw the ball. And not only that, you underthrew that ball. And then you decide to elect and throw across the middle of the field in triple coverage against Wandale Robinson when there are 3 Chiefs players in that area and one shorter I mean, no offense to Wan'Dale Robinson. He's not the tallest guy. He's only 5'8". Wan'Dale Robinson. Who do you expect to come down with it? I'm going to expect the 3 Chiefs players that are in that area, not the 5'8" Wan'Dale Robinson. Maybe that's just my take. Maybe that's a bad take. I don't know. But
No,
it's like
it's genuinely like they're play calling off Madden, like coach recommendations. Like that's
we
genuinely what it feels
saw
like.
Russell Wilson genuinely have the best passing day of his goddamn career last week. I mean, impeccable. It was absurd. Better than he ever had with the Seahawks, the team that he won Super Bowls with. I was blown away. And then he comes out here in this game and just releases some passes that make you scratch your head and you think back to last year with the Steelers and then just the overall decline in his career to this point that he's now 36 years old. And that prime Russell Wilson that we thought we saw last week, that we thought was back, now we're back to kind of square one. Okay. I want to do this because I feel like we're going to forget to. So let's take a break, Alex. We'll come back and we'll continue to talk about this game.
Fans were calling for Jackson to get in the game, and then when you put Russell back in, they were booing him.
Yeah.
What would you say to the fan base that is calling for this rookie that you guys are obviously excited about, and they are too, after this offense looks like this?
Yeah. Look, Jackson's progressing well. We'll continue to work with him. I got a lot of confidence in him, his development that he's had, and that's what we'll continue to do. Look, I'd be booing too, to be honest with you, in terms of not being good enough. No, not scoring, not finishing. I understand that. That's the nature of it.
All right, welcome back. Alex, I want to talk about this because this really, really rubbed me the wrong way last night and still to this morning. And again, I talked about it on my radio show earlier, but I want to bring it up now on our podcast because it's just, I'm so annoyed at Giants fans. Yes, together as fans, you might not always be universal with your takes and thoughts on coaches, on players. I think back of like Anthony Volpe when he was making all these errors in the infield for the Yankees. A lot of fans wanted him out. Some fans wanted him to stay in. Aaron Boone wanted him fired, whatever. I don't know why I'm thinking the Yankees. That's just on the top of my mind right now. But for the Giants, Alex, big talk so far to start the year, and even before that, was to have Jackson Dart play. And to the point last night in the home opener where the Giants fans have first seen and watched Russell Wilson at home for the first time. And Russell Wilson, when Jackson Dart came out during these stupid, by the way, RPO plays that they're still doing after the defenses know exactly what's coming because Dart is not going to throw the ball. This is known. He's either going to hand it off or run it himself. But anyway, they still did it regardless. And when he came off the field and Russell Wilson came back on the field, he was awarded with boos from this Giants crowd. Like they're furious. Like it's been so long, the longest 3 weeks of their life, that Russell Wilson has played for this Giants team. The same Russell Wilson that almost won them the goddamn football game last week. You're booing him. Giants fans, why did they sign Russell Wilson? Why did they sign Jameis Winston? To develop a younger quarterback that they eventually drafted in Jackson Dart. That's why they did it. So why are you booing Wilson and saying bring in Dart when it's only week 3? That just evades your entire plan. It's 1 year. Deal with it. Dart will be here next year. Did you expect the Giants to go out and be 3-0 to start the season? I certainly did it. Alex certainly didn't. Mostly everyone in their right mind, if you're a Giants fan, certainly should not have. So I don't understand why you are hysterically booing Russell Wilson. Like, I can't. I genuinely can't, Alex.
I'll
I
say
get he
this. I
had a
think
bad day. He threw 2 picks, but he is a Giants quarterback for the foreseeable future, and they need to get that through their heads. Do not boo him, be behind the guy. He almost won you the football game last week. He threw for 500 yards against the Cowboys. No, don't boo him. Dart isn't coming in yet. He's not ready yet. It doesn't make sense to me.
I'll say this, I think I slightly disagree with you, just not on the booing thing, but I do think we're going to see him soon because these guys are going to lose their jobs if they don't. And it's not going to be the
And
right
that
decision.
really, I don't care about the job security, Alex. That really annoys me. Like, genuinely
Of
makes
course.
me so enraged because then why sign these players? Why pay them the money? Why pay Russell Wilson whatever it is, $60 million to play here for a year and not start? Why bring them in to be this veteran presence to help develop a young player who's a raw talent in Jackson Dart? That's why he deserves a year to rest. Why put him in at week 5? Put him in at week 10, week 15 when the Giants have only won a game or two, because that's probably what's going to be the case.
Yeah, and I think
sorry, go. I've been talking for a
no,
while.
it wasn't. Well, their plan obviously was not to go 0-3 in the first 3 games, right? So I think that's what you have to think about it from like Brian Dable's position. But at the same time, it's a business league, right? The game is all about the business, and there's 2 guys there that are looking to save their jobs, and they get paid a lot of money to do their jobs, and they don't want to lose out on that money. And I think the only way to save it, because they're not going to win, is to have Jackson Dart go in there and look, half good and, say, hey, well, we're the only ones who can develop him. And that's going to be the way they keep their jobs. So, I mean, I see it could even be next week. I don't think it will be, but it could be. A week or 2 from now, I think it's very possible because, I mean, we saw John Mara's face. I'm not here.
Don't
There's
do
a
this.
difference
Don't
between
do this to me.
agreeing with the decision and
If
looking at
against the
reality.
Chargers next week, if the Giants start Jackson Dart in that game, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
I will say this. I don't
I
think
might
they'll start
turn
him
the
against the
TV.
Chargers.
I might pull Kendrick Lamar. I might turn the TV off, Alex. I can't. I literally cannot. You are going against everything you decided to do in this offseason by putting him in week 4. It is only week 4. And I know as an organization, of course, you're not going to go into games expecting to lose. But I mean, my God, the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Chiefs, were they more winnable games than we maybe expected after seeing the Cowboys in week 1 and after seeing the Chiefs through the first 2 games? Of course. But at the end of the day, just like we did in preseason and we predicted the schedule, Alex, and just like we did every single week when we had the previews, did we have the Giants winning? No. At least I didn't. You might have had them winning week 1. I don't remember. But no, we didn't. So I don't know why we're coming out here so surprised of this horrendous 0-3 start. This was expected. We didn't think the Giants were going to be good this year. This was the building block year.
Watching it, though, I will say it is very different when you're watching the game.
Well, of course, the way they lost last week, yeah, it was horrible. I mean, it was the worst loss I might have ever remembered as a Giants fan. Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
I would. It's tough to manage your emotions as a fan. It really is, and I get it because it's ridiculous that like people want Jackson Dart to start. But at the same time, I completely understand it.
If you want to, I was saying this, it's like, if you want to boo Mike Kafka, boo Shane Bowen, boo Brian Dable. That's who you boo. Don't boo when Dart is running off the field and Wilson's coming back on the field because you want a quarterback change. It's not Wilson's fault that the play calling is shit. Sorry. I mean, I hate to curse on the other, but it's terrible. It's awful. Don't blame Russell Wilson when, again, I know the interceptions were bad, but it's not all on him. It's on the coordinators. Don't blame him for that. I can't. Like, this is the most upset I felt on an episode in a while.
It's funny that this is like what really got into your, like, I guess got you, like, really fed up, which is funny because I think every fan like has different things that they just like that they've been attached to. Like I've been, reading on Twitter, it's like certain people are like just furious at John Mara and like the fact that he has family members in the organization, and other people are furious at Shane Bowen and that he sucks. And then other people are furious about other people being furious. And it's just when you're dysfunctional, there's always going to be people that are mad at everything, at a million different things. And I think, to be honest, the booing's not necessarily, I know it is at Russell Wilson, but it's not indicative of Russell Wilson, if that makes sense. It's a indicative boo of, we see Jackson Dart is representational of a Giants future where we win games, right? That's like the ideology behind him, right? And Russell Wilson is the past, the continuous losing Giants, right? That is the mental connections that people have.
And I think it's also just it's raw talent. It's something you've never seen before, right? It's a new experience.
It's hope. It's hope.
It's a
That's
young
all
player.
you can ask for. Yeah. It's
Yes.
hope. And I think
But what is the hope going to do? What is the hope going to do when you're already 0-3? And is this Tommy DeVito hope? Where you go in and you beat a game,
it's not at all.
and you win a game on prime time, and you're like, we're back, we're gonna go win the wild card, or is this hope as in like, okay, we still lost to the because this is the most realistic. Jackson Dart starts next week. Okay, he throws for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Giants still lose to the Chargers. Are we hopeful? The Giants are 0-4, but we're hopeful because Dart did well. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna contribute now to this season? The only reason to start Jackson Dart this early is to give him more reps in the NFL level. If that's what you want, that's a different conversation. But if you want Jackson Dart to come in now to quote unquote save the Giants season, it's over. It's gone. It's done. The season's over. So you have to have a different mindset. And if you're along the mindset of Jackson Dart, I want him to come in to have more reps as an NFL player getting ready for next season and beyond, then I understand that. And that's something a little different.
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, the worst thing that Brian Daboll has done is including Jackson Dart on these like one-off plays. It's the most ridiculous thing. It just gets fans egged on. And it has made this into a whole thing. If he never stepped on the field, people would be talking, don't get me wrong, but it would not be to this extent. So Brian Daboll has truly shot himself in the foot with this. And I think that's kind of what I want to leave it on, because it all falls down to the coaching at the end of the day. And they're incompetent. They're making incompetent decisions, and the team and the fans are suffering for it.
Alice, we can go on for another hour about this, but we have classes to go to and schedules to attend to, and the Giants have their own schedules they need to attend to, and whatever that may be, and the meetings that they might have for the next few days before a game at home against the Los Angeles Chargers next weekend. It'll be very interesting. Obviously, something we didn't mention in this really, prayers out to Tyrone Tracy for sure. Hopeful for him for a speedy recovery, because that did not look good. He could not move his arm when he was helped off the field yesterday and looked to be in agonizing pain. So, yeah, that's going to be it for us. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Please support us on our socials, the Giant Take Pod. Alex on Twitter at Anorian23. I'm on Twitter at JoshSolo29. That all that info is also going to be in the podcast description. Alex, I'm not even letting you say goodbye because I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye. Peace out, everybody. Have a good week, and stick through it. As I said last week, try your best to.